And here we go, ladies and gentlemen, in the top of the map playing as the blue Noir. His name is Zoekt. His opponent today in the red color, playing as the red ISIS. His name is Kiluminati. Let's tell the backstory before I jump in and explain what's going on the map. Kiluminati right now, top 5 on the ranked ladder. However, on his top 5 journey, he only played set. His set is banned out. Does that mean anything? Can he play at a top 5 level with a whole bunch of different gods? That's the big question. He's got Isis here, very, very similar to set, but also very, very different as well. His opponent here, Zoekt, a player who has performed incredibly well in qualifiers before. He's yet to make a main event, but he's often made it to the stage just before the main event and often lost 2 to 3. So he gets very, very deep in these qualifier runs, but he's just not quite managed to make a main event. The same is true for Kiluminati. And guess what? You win this game, you're in the main event. You're in day 2. You still want to win day 2 and you want to get into the winner's bracket of the main event, but regardless of win or lose, you will be in the main event. So we'll see how it's going to go. We've got the Noir, we've got the ISIS. Let's take a quick look at the map and see what we can see. Of course, it is Frozen Wastes. It is Frozen Wastes. So we've got gold mines popping up on the left side here. We've got the town center on this side as well, or settlement, I should say. More gold mines around the outside. Gold mines over here and here. Not the best of town centers here for Kiluminati, I must say. Sometimes you can get lucky and get, say, the walrus where these berries are. You can grab this town center. You can drag the walrus underneath the town center. It can be very, very hard to punish an ISIS 2TC play there. I will say, however, that Frozen Waste doesn't seem like the best of ISIS maps. The reason being is the lack of food in the main base. You've only got five caribou in the main base. So you're going to have to push out of your base. You're going to have to get yourself some more resources. So we might actually have to do some sort of weird classical fight. Meanwhile, Zoekt, he's going Hull 2. His town center over here, obviously double gold mine. Also a similar type of problem here. He doesn't have the really nice secondary hunt. If he wants to go for a second town center, he can. He's got Hull 2. He's got the earth wall that he can drop down. But if Kiluminati decides to go heavy one town center aggression, he can very easily knock that wall down. Like normally it's kind of difficult, but ISIS, you charge him with the spearmen, you get yourself some slingers in there and nubites stuff. You can break past an earth wall very, very quickly. And then all of a sudden, the elk situation, the food situation is going to be rubbish for Zoekt as well. Now, both players will be grabbing their goats as well. 8 goats for Zoekt. And over here, we got 12 goats for Kiluminati. He's going to be dropping the prosperity on this side as well. He's got so much gold here. I mean, I think we're seeing a second town center grab here from Kiluminati, and he is making his way over here, but he is going for this town center, and realistically, nope, never mind, he's going for this one. I was going to say, realistically, that town center is not very good. This one's okay, because you can drag all of the walrus over here. So you want to eat them just close enough to your town center, and then you can run back. But nonetheless, it's also looking like it's going to be somewhat of a fast second town center from Zoekt. It's a little bit short on the gold, but he will be making his way up here. Did he not grab himself the hero? He didn't go for the hero. He's just going Kuafu. No chieftain. No chieftain. Plague of Serpents. This isn't an issue. We don't care about Plague of Serpents here if we're Zoekt. Just ignore it. Build the thing. No problems. We do say over onto this side. A little bit of a pioneer harassment mission, but does not go all too well as they have to retreat. A little bit of HP done. No problems there as The clay peasants coming in. One villager getting sniped there, though, by the Boit, as Zoekt somewhat... Well, not somewhat. He's made a really big mistake. Generally, you want to leave a handful of heroes here to defend against the Boit. That's going to be a dead Quafu, as well as Kiluminati starts this game off with a gigantic, absolutely disgustingly large advantage. A Quafu kill, a peasant kill. Where are these pioneers? They're finally getting in. As, I mean, there is the walrus over here. He's going to be wanting to eat. So much value here from Kiluminati. So much value. Pioneers also falling to the serpents. Normally, I would have said this is not going to do much. But Zoekt didn't go... Zoekt didn't go for the hero. He didn't have the hero here. This would have been like a nothing burger. He would have just been able to turn around, throw the rocks at the Boit and been completely fine. And now Kiluminati sees the second town center. He's on the forward position. He's grabbing all of this food. He's going absolutely insane with the obelisks. He's literally got 15 obelisks down here. Look at them. How many obelisks does a man want? One of the most important things in Tournament Age of Mythology is scouting. You do not want to get caught out in Tournament Age of Mythology at the top levels. Of course, you don't want to get caught out at any point when you're playing this game, but this is so important. And he just keeps on... They're only 5 gold, and they build incredibly fast. There's another obelisk to come down, and the villager's going to be trying to shank these down. And Zoekt is going to have to figure out some sort of a miracle here to deal with all of this. Sobek on the way, and the big question here from Kiluminati is, I was saying earlier on, what do you want to avoid when playing versus ISIS? You want to avoid the ISIS player getting off the fast mythic. Kiluminati has himself a second gold mine. He has himself all the food he wants. Zoekt lost villagers early on. And he's in a really, really difficult spot. Third monument for Kiluminati coming through for the monument to the priests. This is one of the most important parts of ISIS, I have to say, beyond all the other like small technical things that you just have to do. But this is one of those little mini things that people don't remember to do with ISIS and is so important. Grabbing this technology in the temple and going 3 monuments. Of course, if you don't have the technology, it doesn't matter. You've got Eclipse to do the same sort of deal. And you get yourself out a secondary prosperity. That's where ISIS is able to just take the advantage and just go really, really hard with it. So getting that second monument in while you're going to the heroic age, beautiful play. Rock just scouting around. We see some random fire archers coming in. Those aren't going to play much of a role in this game, I don't think, as I think Kiluminati is just going to be going for nothing but Migdol units here as he does come over here and he drops down the Locust. He gets 3 villagers, 4 villager kills with that Boit raid. Not bad, but that is a heroic age god power, and the amount of value you can get from just dropping it onto a full population army oftentimes means you're kind of happy for this to happen, as we do have the earth wall getting dropped down at the moment. This is a late earth wall. But Tsukos trying to snipe down the earth wall from this side. There's one cheeky little pioneer going to deal with that over onto this side, trying to deal with this bad boy as well, as Zoekt, he wants his heroic age. He's making nothing but Quafu at the moment. Well, not nothing but Quafu. Basically nothing but Quafu at the moment. And Kiluminati is well within his rights to just stop training units, stop getting upgrades. He's inside this position, so maybe he doesn't need to, but he could simply just go Mythic Age here. Now a couple of Halberdier have to get trained, and that's going to slow down Zookt's heroic age even more. This is looking very, very tough for Zoekt. He's having a real rough time here. Camel Rider swings in, picks one villager off, pulling away. The Camel Riders sliding in here yet again, just continuously trying to just pick those low HP villagers off. Zoekt is having a tough time. I don't know what else he can do here. The Petsukos in. They're going to get taken out here. This is not a great micro from Kiluminati, but they're still going to get taken out. 3.6 speed versus 4 speed. You don't even have to micro it from the side of Zoekt. You just chase down, pick them off, no problems. More Chariot Archers going down as Zoekt is... I mean, he's doing a valiant effort to just stay alive here. Siege Tower to roll in. I'd love to see the Earth Wall just getting beaten out by the Siege Tower. No need to keep on keeping on inside this position. It's Kiluminati going to say, all right, let's get up onto this spot. Migdol Stronghold to enjoy that one there. And slowly but surely, the Earth Walls for Zoekt will end up falling. And Kiluminati doing what he can to knock those Pioneers out. They pop through the town center, popping out little bits of damage here. All the Petsukas are dead here. I think maybe it wouldn't be a terrible idea to mix in some Axemen, but I don't think it matters. Like, I think Zoekt is just in too difficult of a spot. Like, I mean, units are just gonna keep streaming in here, and once this Migdol is up, I don't even know what else you can do, because there's gonna be even more production in onto this spot. Over onto this side, little cheeky obelisk to have a look on that gold mine there. Is the town center now under siege from the siege tower. We've got advanced defenses, watchtowers coming through. The Qualifier to come in. Does he have the tech? No. Wait. No, he doesn't have the tech. Grab that tech and the Qualifier. They become very, very powerful. They become very, very powerful. Military camp to come through, but Zoekt has just botched this game up a little bit too much, unfortunately, and Kiluminati a very, very simple and quick victory. Unfortunately, you can't go for a second town center and not have your heroes. Like, this is too much. This is too much. Unless you have the hero villager, the Kwafu chieftain, it's just not going to work out for you, unfortunately. And Zoekt there. A quick win for Kiluminati, unfortunately. Zoekt will have to walk away from this game and say, okay, at least I don't have to deal with ISIS anymore. At least I don't have to deal with ISIS anymore. That's a big thing. Zoekt loses a god that, to be honest, not one of his priority picks. This is a god that's super far down on the draft list for Zoekt. He's picked it up, plays it. He just has to take solace in the fact that ISIS is gone and now he can pick a different god and not have to worry about it. Let's jump back over to the draft and see what they're going to pick for the next game. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, left side of the map here, we do have Zoekt. Currently down 0-1, as he does pick his Oranos here. On the right side of the map, Kiluminati picks up his Ra. And we are on the map Dry Arabia. Taking a quick little look around the map, around the situation to see what is going on. Kiluminati has found himself pretty decent town center here. It's got that forward hunt. It's got the back hunt, back gold mine. Up onto the top side, there's a town center here with 3 elephants and a back gold mine. Of course, the elephants can get dragged back here and maybe get eaten about there. But like I said, against Oranos, I'm really not sure it's a safe grab. I'm really not sure it's a safe town center to be thinking about getting here. If I'm Zoekt, I'm thinking one town center full steam ahead here. One town center full steam ahead. We'll have to wait and see what his plan is going to be. There is an angle as well. There's two angles here. The first angle is, sorry, there's more than two angles here. There's so many different ways to play Arano, so I think that's part of what makes him so strong. So let's just go over some of them. Angle number one is just to play completely standard Oceanus shenanigans, which effectively just means we're going to pump out Murmillo, we're going to pump out Terma, we're going to make Caladria, and we're just going to go and put plenty of pressure on without losing any units, getting full value out of our Caladria, boosting our effective economy, right? That's number one. Number two idea is to go for an extra 3 oracles in the Archaic Age. This is not something that Zoekt is doing. He's just going to be getting himself an Oracle Hero and grabbing relics. But go for a second, or go for an extra 3 oracles, go up to 6, and go through Prometheus. And this unlocks an amazing amount of Prometheans you can build, and then you can just go and overwhelm the Ra player or the Egyptian player. Very, very strong way to play. And then option number 3 is kind of a hybrid of that other one, where instead of going for oracles early, you actually go for hero citizens early, give yourself a gigantic economic boost by grabbing Theft of Fire, and then spamming Valors, while also getting more oracles to then go into Prometheans a little bit later. Ra, on the other hand, well, you are playing reactionary. Whatever Zoekt does, you've got to just react to it. If he goes for a whole bunch of Murmillo, get yourself your Axeman. If he goes for a whole bunch of Terma, get yourself out your Slingers. If he goes for a whole bunch of Prometheans, make sure you get yourself those beautiful, beautiful Priests and Wadgets. So a second monument here is going to be super important for Kiluminati as well. Relic situation, Kobash of Horus on the map there as well. Not going to be something you want to allow over to anyone else. Black Lotus grab there from Zoekt, giving him some extra farm bonus. He gives himself the Ship of Fingernails, giving a tiny bit of food. Trickle up on the top side of the map. There's Tail Feathers of Heaven. That's a huge relic. I don't know if either player has spotted it yet. Absolutely gigantic relic there. As Kiluminati is actually going to be grabbing a very quick Skin of the Rhino here, as this indicates to me that he's probably looking for the second town center. So he's going to have some super villagers, so that if he has to fight off Murmillo, he will be able to do so. But the town center is going to come up, no question. But does it matter is the question. This is what my point was. If Zoekt goes early extra Caladria or 2, never loses them to any priests or pharaohs, just controls them really well, he can simply just he basically can already be bashing the town center down, because the town center can't out damage that Caladria here. He is grabbing his economic upgrades behind all of this. I don't know if I like that. You can grab the upgrades much later on. You just want to pump as many units out as you possibly can early on. We'll see what Kiluminati is going to do. Obviously, he wants to drag those elephants. He's not going to eat them here. You shoot, you run back here. Maybe he will eat them there. Maybe you can drag them. Oh, okay, never mind. He's going to eat them directly here as into the main base. Come the hero Murmillo. That's going to be a dead Wadget. That's a nice little win there for Zoekt early on. As long as he doesn't lose he doesn't lose it, okay. As long as he doesn't lose the Murmillo, he's all good. But a great pick there. Picks the Wadget off. That's got to be a good feeling. It does allow him to do a lot of stuff at the moment. He hasn't scouted this top town center going up, but he will be spending some time to knock down. He lost a Murmillo. No, anyways, he's going to spend some time to knock down this sentry tower as the Pharaoh comes over. Picking this off is nice because it allows him to maybe pick off these Zebra. As the Murmillo coming up to the top side. Watchtowers in as well as the Murmillo over here. Almost going down. A little bit of heal to come through. Is it going to be enough? Yes, it is. As he pulls back out. I'm not seeing that extra Caladria coming in, which is making me a little bit nervous about what's to come here. Not seeing any barracks coming up either. Oh, there's the barracks now for Kiluminati, realizing he does need to play some defense here. There is an angle to some degree here for Kiluminati to just go for a heroic age, because he's got such a good gold mine on the back. You're basically saying, come kill my second town center. I'll shifting sands away, back into my town center, and then I'll have my Migdal units to beat your units. So that can work. As the Mamilo coming up onto this side. Do have to also remember these laborers are supercharged with the skin of the rhino. As Kiluminati going to attempt to get some heals in. Shockwave to come through. As the low HP villagers should go down. Picks off one. Going after a second one. A third one going to fall over onto this side as well. As Zoekt pulls back. And now there's the second Caladria. Little quick check here. I think it does 15 HP a second. Town Center does 23.5 damage a second. So you do need, like, I think you need 3 Caladrias to out DPS the Town Center. Maybe the Town Center with it getting empowered is enough, but... And you can also start wiggling them. Did you see Zoekt now pushing forward with the Sky Passage? I like these picks here from Zoekt. Pick off the elephant, pick off the other elephant, and that's going to prevent them from getting grabbed too easily. And Zoekt finds himself Tail Feathers of Heaven. That's a huge pickup there for Zoekt. But the other thing here is that Kiluminati still has food. He's got zebra in the main base. He's got berries in the main base. And he's got a perfect gold mine. So after all is said and done, I think Kiluminati, he's gone through the worst of it. He really has gone through the worst of it. And he might be able to just go to the heroic age now. Never mind, he's dropping 2 more barracks. He wants to stay in the classical age. And now Zoekt needs to think about heroic age himself, making some satyr and all the other good stuff that comes from that. Yeah, with Bite of the Shark, this relic gives... What is this? 0.25 divine damage over 3 seconds. And then this one gives 0.1 divine damage over 3 seconds. So it's just like a nice little... Just have a little bit more. Just have a little bit more damage. It's really nice. It's Kiluminati with all the axemen in the world. Caraballas are going to start getting mixed in. So you can have a little bit of a poke. If you go Caraballas, you need Sky Passages. That's the secret there. There's also the Carnivora, which can get dropped down, which is going to make those axemen have to pull back. Little bits of damage onto the back line there as he gets a couple more kills. The axemen going to turn around. Good garrison micro there from Kiluminati as he still has to play very, very slow. Very, very defensive. An amazing Sky Passage on this right side from Zoekt. Love that. In fact, I would really prefer him to pull through this Sky Passage and start mining this gold mine out. If you can get rid of that gold mine, then he can play for like 10 oracles and mass chaos ideas in order to try and get a gold staff on the next gold mine. Definitely a valid idea. A couple farms now coming down as well for Kiluminati very early on. Does he have himself the upgrade? Yes, they are cheap. He does have it. Over onto this side, continuing to take these fights. He's got the numbers here. Yes, the Axemen beat those Murmillos, but there are Caraballas over here to help out, and the double Caladrias to heal everything up after the fact. As Kiluminati has to pull back into the town center yet again. And Zoekt can start thinking about hitting this position. Yes, good barracks here, good wall. Have to protect this gold mine at all costs. A couple of slingers are going to start getting mixed in to try and deal with those Caraballas. But it is somewhat difficult. Normally when I'm watching Kiluminati play with Ra, he normally has 2 monuments or 3 monuments and he's building Wadgets here. So I think it's a really helpful unit to sort of break through those Caraballas. But there's a lot of these in at the moment. So you do have to be careful versus those slingers, but it does get those pot shots off nicely. More Caladria getting mixed in. There's 60 favor in the bank, and there is going to be a heroic age on the horizon as that armory 8 seconds from completion. Kiluminati, on the other hand, he wants a heroic age as well. He's got Sobek queued up, but his food situation is hurting here. And from this, 5, 6 oracles now out. Full map control. I'd love to see him just drop the oracles through the sky passage over here, grab the vision, take a look at what Zookt's map looks like. He sees basically all of it. So why not? Why not take all of that map and just see it all? It's like, whenever you've got map control, if you have a god, like Egyptian, like Uranus, like Loki, you want to just take full vision of it so your opponent is strangled from that standpoint. They can't get out of it. So even though Kiluminati's got a nice villager lead here, and he is going to the next age, he's running out of this gold mine, 2,400 left. He's got 1,400 left here as well. He will be able to hit full population, but I don't think he can win a fight. That's the big thing. If Zoekt hits his chaos, and he does, and he picks off all these units really quickly, shockwave onto the slingers is brutal. Kills all of the axemen there. A brutal fight. Wait, did he? Are there anything left? Yes, he oh no, there's still a couple left. He's got 13 axemen remaining. But a brutal fight to get that off. The Terma will be able to take down those slingers somewhat quickly as Zoekt is going incredibly hard on this one. He doesn't have his Satyr in here just yet, but I'm sure he's going to start mixing those in as Kiluminati going to continue his garrisoning ways. There is going to be a Locust potentially here. Heavy Murmillo comes through as well from Zoekt as the Carnivora does get dropped down as well. One Rock going to join in and start distracting things away here as the Pitsukos versus Satyr is a win for this Pitsukos. But has this attack actually been enough here for Zoekt? Of course, he's going to have another Chaos in 2 minutes here as the Locust gets dropped down and away Zoekt has to go to not take too much damage. More units streaming in here for Zoekt. So much favor in the bank. I'd love to see Satyr coming in. I'd love to see another 5 oracles out already for Satyr plus Hyperion shenanigans. And Kiluminati very smartly during that fight goes, I can just drop a Migdol down. This Migdol means this gold mine secured to some degree. And he will be able to finish that off. One villager goes down. The rest of the army, though, will come in. Is there going to be enough here to actually win this fight? As Kiluminati can't actually get in onto this one. Wayne going to come down for Kiluminati. What has he got? 21 farms. That's nice. The army to charge through over here. Pontarius will start getting mixed in as well. That's where things get difficult for this classical age. Kiluminati with a gigantic misclick running straight into the Murmillo and the Terma. He's trying to take out the Carabalister, but he's just lost nearly all of his slingers in that moment. As the Pitsukos over here will end up going down eventually as well. More Satyr getting mixed in. There's going to be another Chaos available eventually. Migdol Stronghold's at half HP. This gold mine will be expiring. This gold mine, 500 remaining there as well. Villagers are actually mining this gold, so Zoekt has done it correctly. Meanwhile, I don't know how it happened, but Kiluminati has picked off 3 oracles during all of this time. And now Zoekt has to rebuild the oracles, which will slow down potential secondary chaoses and everything else. It's very important to make that happen. A beautiful palace coming in onto this spot. As the one little tricky move here that Kiluminati has is this gold mine in the corner. Of course, Zoekt could see it if he comes over there, but he doesn't see it. And it's actually looking like Kiluminati is managing to survive here. Another palace up onto this side. Zoekt, for whatever reason, is just running out of steam on all of these fights. The Pharaoh charging after the Satyr here. Beautiful as the army falls onto this position. The villagers up here get the palace down, but these are angry villagers. They've got themselves survival equipment. They've got themselves Skin of the Rhino. And Kiluminati will be able to shank down the palace. couple of villagers do end up going down to the palace after all, but I don't think it matters. Zookt's all in has fizzled out here, and he hasn't managed to keep Kiluminati off of a third gold mine. In fact, there are 2 gold mines that he's currently on, which effectively means, what can Zoekt do now? Villager's going to pop through the sky passage and see what they can grab. Of course, there's just food all over the place. There's gold all over the place. This army is really, really scary. There's no favor for another chaos or anything like that. Is Kiluminati going to come through, take out this position? The citizens a little bit slow to react here from Zoekt as he loses 2. There's a citizen over here starting to get raided, and this is never a good thing. If you're on one town center and you're getting hit with the raids and not putting the pressure on, it generally means things are going very, very poor. Funnily enough, I think this game came down to a classic that I see all too often from Murano's players, where they don't delete their main base sky passage and put one in the center. They normally get one on the top and one on the bottom, and they leave that center sky passage here. If you had a sky passage here, here, and here, you'll never get hit with these like cheeky migdol grabs. Up onto the top, citizens getting sniped. And then when you hit the third age, you can put the sky passage back into your main base, so you can teleport to defend yourself as well. Moose, thank you for the raiding party. I hope your tournament run went swimmingly. As the chaos does go down, and Zoekt will be able to get some revenge fire in, picking off a bunch of chariot archers and slingers. Does hurt the Kiluminati Ra Empire, but he's up to a 3rd town center now. He's moving up to grab this gold mine. You can't take these fights with the destroyers. If he's got the Arcus in, maybe he can snipe off the Axemen while the destroyers are playing a little bit of dance moves. But you have to have it all in there. Now fortified town centers in for Kiluminati as well, as he's just locking up the map with the building spammage and the building strength. Does he also have himself Masons? Of course he does. Of course it does. Mason's a huge tech to grab when you are the defensive player, when you are the 2TC player. The destroyer's sneaking in up onto this side, but he can't make it in there. The Axemen are already in position. Not enough favor currently to get any more god powers in. The Satyr are going to be helping out in a big way, as there's no priests at the moment. There's no Petsukos either. And things can go south there for Kiluminati after all is said and done. The army to come through. You do want to pull that front line back to allow the Arcus to... Holy damage from the Satyr there. Is it going to be enough or not is the big question. Huge military resource advantage for Kiluminati at the moment. Sorry, no, for Zoekt at the moment. The Pharaoh to come through. Can he take out the Pharaoh? Answer no. Not enough. The Migdol stronghold stands. Those destroyers ending up falling is too much. Great snipe there onto the Pharaoh. Allows the Satyr back into this fight. So villagers can get back onto the gold mine. You do also have to remember Kiluminati's enjoying this position up here as well. You see a straggler Arcus come up here. It's going to be a little bit annoying. Not the best raider. Kiluminati will just come over and say, what are you doing? Get shanked. As the destroyers returning back in onto this spot. Still trying to take out these Migdols, but the defense from Kiluminati is so good here. I mean, he's so far in front on the economy that he can kind of afford to play like this. He can afford to get things like Masons. He's just got himself the... That's a ridiculous upgrade to grab. I'm sorry. He just got himself carrier pigeons at 400 wood. So now he sees more of the map. That's a crazy upgrade. It's Kiluminati struggling to actually get out some units here, however. And I like this little mix-in from Zoekt. He's now going to be giving himself catapulties in. And I love this because it means now he's got an answer for those camel riders, which have been soaking up tons and tons of damage at the moment from the pierce damage from Zookt's army here. But even if Kiluminati loses this position, he's still got the gold up the top. He's still got this gold mine here. He's still on 3 town centers. Zoekt is slowly but surely pulling up to full villages here. He needs another town center at some point. Getting himself the weightless mace as well is huge. How many of these counter barracks? He's got 3 counter barracks, so he's going to get a couple of those bad boys out. Funnily enough, like, it still feels like the game is close, even though by all intents and purposes, Kiluminati has been dealing with everything perfectly. He's playing an incredible game here. Not to take anything away from Zoekt, who's also putting the pressure on. He's making Kiluminati make some minor mistakes, but Kiluminati needs to swing around this way. He goes up through onto this side. Got to hit the villagers here instead. He might lose his town center, but this also means that this Migdol is going to be next. As the Sati get a little bit of damage off onto those villagers, they have to pull off this gold mine. And Kiluminati, while his army... Oh, I don't know about this fight, though, from Zoekt. He doesn't have any of those catapulties in the army, and those camel riders are going to be absolutely huge here. Caladria gets dropped down. The Destroyer is going to attempt to get in here. Shockwave to come in onto this spot. At the very least, the Migdol stronghold might be falling. The Axemen here face tanking against the Arcus, and Sati not going after the Destroyers will potentially allow the Migdol to go down with all the villages in the world repairing it. Is it going to be enough? Kiluminati's at full population, though. Zoekt does not have enough stuff here. He will pick off the Migdol, but then what? Little bits of raids over onto this side. 500 gold left in a dream. 1 camel rider searching around for oracles. Kiluminati, while I haven't really been seeing it, you've been noticing the oracle numbers dropping non-stop in this game. He's been very active on killing oracles throughout this game. So all the villagers back into this position. He's still got gold up here. I wouldn't mind seeing a trade route start. Oftentimes, the unlosable position for Egyptian versus Ranos is once the trade route is up with Migdols kind of everywhere. So Shifting Sands coming in onto the bottom side as Kiluminati says, I've had enough of taking damage here. Let me just kill off all of these citizens quickly. Picks off an Oracle as well. Zoekt down to 52 citizens. 52 villagers. Not 52 citizens. 26 citizens. That's it. That's all he's got. And now Osiris on the way. Over onto this side. Zoekt now going to take out the Sky Passage. Villagers up here. We'll be able to escape back into the main base. This is like the fine. Wait, is it? There's 3. Where's the other one? Am I blind? I am blind. It's over here. Citizens coming in to try and take out the siege towers, and I think Zookt's chances in this game are becoming less and less the more of these citizens that he loses. Villagers back onto this gold mine, pushing forward to take this gold mine as well. Finishing up on this one. All the gold in the world. He can grab his towns and he can put a Migdol back over here. A Migdol up onto here would not go astray. Of course, I would love the market and a slight trade route started here from Kiluminati. He has one market up, but market in the corner just locks everything in. And Zoekt in the 27th minute, not able to make the all-out aggression work here. An impeccable defense from Kiluminati, which seems to be the story thus far. Seems to be the story thus far from this series is Kiluminati on his defense. Actually, the first game, Zoekt just kind of didn't play too well. This game, I think Kiluminati is just playing an incredible Age of Mythology here thus far. But nonetheless, I think if Zoekt did play the Sky Passage in the middle, didn't go for the crazy all-in on this town center, maybe waited to try and catch out those units. If you see the units out of position, chaos and kill. Otherwise, just full vision starve, get the full pop. Doesn't matter. You're going to win the first fight with chaos and shockwave and carnivora at full pop. And then you can lock off the gold mines with your Sky Passage shenanigans. Unfortunately, Zoekt allows this gold mine, which then in turn allows this gold mine. And everything kind of melts because of this crazy all-in on this town, and it doesn't quite work out for him. But nonetheless, let's pop back over to the drafting menu and see what's going to happen. We had the wrong stinger again. Alrighty, here we go onto the map. Gorge in the left-hand corner of the map, playing as Amaterasu. His name is Zoekt. Tournament life on the line. Must-win game. Down 0-2 against Kiluminati, who is going to be playing as the Red Poseidon. At the moment, looking like Kiluminati is looking for a very fast advance. He's got one of the best possible maps he could be hoping for. Back gold mine, back wood line, of course, is a standard spawn for Gorge. Gets a nice little wood spawn here as well that he can lock off with the temple. And we'll see how things are going to go. On the other side here for Zoekt, he's just playing nice and simple. Gets himself some extra shrines out. Looking for a temple here. Wants the favor. You can use the Miko to build this temple. Or you can use a villager, obviously. But wanting the extra favor in makes some sense. However, Kiluminati looks like he is opting for the faster advance. Now, I wouldn't be surprised to see some Mr.-esque Poseidon here from Kiluminati. And what do I mean by Mr.-esque Poseidon? I mean a quick, stable, a handful of Hippias to apply pressure, Atalanta to come out, then he's going to wander over to one of these town centers, either on the left side or the right side, pick that up, and then play a nice defensive game from there. Let's check out the relics and see if they're going to have any impact. We've got Archimedes' Ledger, making siege weapons cost less population space. Up here we have the Trojan Gate Hinge, increases wall hit points plus 40%. Up onto the top side we have the Eye of Horus, just town centers increase population count by 4. And over to this side, we have ourselves the Ullr's bow, making ranged soldiers have an extra 1 line of sight, but more importantly, 1 range. Question in the chat, where are the sacred sites? They are in Age of Empires 4, my good sir. So yes, this is an Age of Empires 4 map, sort of ported to Retold. Very, very cool. I'm excited to see what these guys are going to come up with. Is that Minakata Tomi? Zoekt the Madman. This is something I was told is a terrible idea to do by some of the very, very strong Amaterasu players out there. As a little cheeky wall to come up, already defending his gold mine nicely. The Centaur going to come in, get a little bit of damage done, as the villager will have to pull back. Minakata Tomi will be in. I imagine he drops it on this position as to protect the gold mine. But we will have to wait and see as a dojo going to be getting dropped down immediately. The relic coming in, Trojan Gate hinge. As the Miko is going to pressure that Centaur away. Kiluminati does have 2 stables up here, so he is indeed going for a little something something here as the Miko pops out. That that Theseus is almost dead at the moment and has not found its value in the slightest. As the Miko can turn around and just bash him. 6 HP left, 1 bash remaining. Imagine getting slapped by that thing. Imagine. The Centaur over onto this side, going to be looking for some more damage. Now, of course, you can just passive stance this and heal with the Miko, and 1 Centaur isn't going to be doing a whole lot. Behind all this, while there were 2 stables that have been made, not a single cavalry unit coming out here for Kiluminati. So he might be thinking to do something a little bit different here as this Miko is going to be getting caught out. Can it survive? Do you ever solar shield that? No, he keeps it alive, gets into the towns, and it can heal it up with a Miko over here if he wants to. And now the samurai is in. Not a on the musha, but a samurai. Not terrible. We'll start building up his Bushido. As the Miko will come over here and get the shrine up, you definitely need to come over and heal this. Kiluminati, he will notice the 2 HP Miko, and he will kill this one. Well, I'm not a prophet, but I can tell the future sometimes. Alrighty, we've got the Adelancer to come through. That one's going to get pushed back as there is enough stuff here. These Hippias are not going to be able to do a whole lot here. The wolves, these things are powerful. You got to send the heroes over. They can take the wolves out really quickly, but Hippias are not going to do a whole lot. So these villagers wandering back. This one up here still getting healed up. Nice play up onto this side. The villager looks like it will end up going down. No solar shield coming through from Zoekt. He's trying to limit the damage here, but it's not working out for him. Does pick off 1 Hippias. These can get healed back up with Lord of Horses as well. So even if you get one down to 29 HP, it will come back with ferocity, so to speak. The samurai are a little bit too scary for these Hippias. I am somewhat surprised to see him building samurai here. Somewhat surprised. Not completely surprised, but somewhat surprised. Is this Miko going to come over and grab that shrine? Lots and lots of favor coming in. Is this ever going to be for another like gazelle spawn? Maybe. As the raids coming in up onto this side. Not quite blocking this off. As the house is going to go down, the villagers will pull away. These villagers are also very much out of position. Zoekt getting hit on the Miko on this side. Will garrison there nicely. These villagers over here also very much out of position. These raids have been absolutely brutal from Zoekt. He's finally decided to drop his solar shield to save the villagers. The samurai gets some good damage, however, onto these Hippias. Picking off a couple of them. It's still, I mean, it's it's still going to be a close game because the Hippias, all they're good for here is going to be killing villagers. They're not going to be good against the samurai. They're not going to be good against any, maybe like they're fighting against the Bushi, but that's kind of it. As the 1 HP does end up getting picked off. Nice one there. Over onto this side, the villagers still getting hit as Zoekt just can't get on wood in this game. I mean, he's got himself straggler trees. To some degree, it'd be better for him to just sort the straggler trees out. There's this villager here as well getting caught out. It does manage to get into the tower. The pressure from Kiluminati is immense, but the defense from Zoekt is going okay. And while he's dropping villagers, he is getting trades in. He is picking off cavalry. So this isn't all bad, but Zoekt will have to push back because the longer the game sits in this state of like a 6 villager lead, 8 villager lead, an 8 villager lead, the longer, the more economy Kiluminati is going to get. He's going to rebuild his military and he's going to be completely fine here. This house is coming up. These walls must complete. But the villager here, this one's going to get caught out again and it's going to run, but not fast enough as the Hippias fend that one off, take that out. The samurai desperately trying to roam around here. Miko just hanging out, gets shanked a couple of times. Villagers on these chicken here, trying to do what they can. Over to this side, the Miko gets spotted and gets sniped as well. Another villager might end up going down as the samurai finally get a little bit of damage. You do have to remember though, that all of this going on does give some Bushido over to Zoekt as well. So while he's losing villages, he's gaining potential economy here. Well, he is raiding up onto this side as well. Now into the main base. This is a problem. There is a big problem here for Kiluminati, which is one Yudo to take out the town center and things like that. Little bits of counter attacks is going to be huge as the villagers start rotating up to the top gold mine. Kiluminati is out of gold here. So any sort of revenge attacks is going to be huge. Another villager going, nope. One villager going down there. The other villager gets into the tower. I mean, this is just brutal for Zoekt because he didn't sort his base out here. His base is just completely open and the cavalry are just running rampant non-stop here. Another villager going down, but 2 Hippias for the villager kill is kind of fine. At this point, the military lead... Oh, he's going to lose these units on the run back, though. The military lead is so big for Zoekt. He can almost just right-click on this main base of Kiluminati. Especially if he gets in some Yati Spearmen. And he's going to be getting up to heavy soon. He's got 2,000 XP that he needs. And then all of a sudden, Kiluminati's stuck in the classical age versus heavy units. As these villagers making their way over here. What is he thinking with this move? He's got goats. You don't need to be on food. Keep the villagers safe. What is happening? These Hippias are just getting just insane value in this game. The split off up here still hitting villagers. The villagers will turn around as Solar Shield to come in here, but going to lose another one as the Hippias try and bail. We're up to 1,000 XP until the next Bushido tick. Does Zoekt know that there's a gold mine over here and there's villagers there? That's the big question. Sending a couple of units up there as the army is in here to defend. Kiluminati not paying attention to his units, dropping more and more Hippias. Yes, he's picking off villagers. Yes, his villager lead is insane. But his military situation is struggling. He's got himself ceasefire. And we're about to see heavy coming through for Zoekt. So heavy in. Zoekt has to know that he can hit a gold mine on the side. Yes, there's a gold mine on both sides. Either side he can go for. At this point, put all your villagers in your main base. hide them underneath the town center, maybe get watchtowers, grab all your units, and we just go. Like, you have to go here. Half villages means every minute that passes, your opponent is going to get an extra 1,200 resources on you. There's enough favor here to make a bunch of 1 euro as well, which basically means he's got the siege potential to absolutely dominate here. Toxotes are in for Kiluminati, which normally I'd say is a bit of an issue, but the 1 euro is an amazing counter to those Toxotes as well, as the villagers... He just keeps losing villagers. It's hurting. It's hurting so much. He keeps losing villagers. But there's no army in the main base. The shoot and scoot here from Kiluminati. He's got a wall segment here to run through as the 1 euro gets a couple of shots off. He's got that area of effect damage. Yes, he's only dealing crush damage when he attacks, but he sets the units ablaze. It does some divine damage, and it will hurt those Toxotes in a big way. The villagers still haven't been protected. I can't deal with this. How do we not have a wall here? 1 wall, just what? Just 1. Okay, this is also an opening, but like I get that, but just a wall across, it's fine. More villagers dying at the main base. Zoekt. He's not able to find the damage with his gigantic, heavy army here. What is this game? Kiluminati also now spreading up around the map. He's like, okay, if you find some of my villagers, it's fine. Kill them. I'm so far in front. Just need to have income. It's totally fine. Kiluminati coming in, going to be able to take out the villager on this gold mine. How many Hippias is Hippii? Hippias? Hippii? Hippii? Kiluminati's Hippias are still falling. Now he's got an Archibald. The Archibald is scary. I will say that the Archibald is not scary if you have 6 1 Udor, in which case you force them into a difficult spot. But nonetheless, Kiluminati doesn't have to do anything. He just has to sit here. He doesn't have to take a fight. Sit here behind the watchtowers, get heroic age. Game's done. Wall's coming up to the top here as well, as Kiluminati is literally just like, yeah, I'll walk up to this gold mine. It's fine. Why not? Not an issue. Not an issue by any stretch of the imagination. Now, Zoekt, on the other hand, does have one nasty trick against those Toxotes. He doesn't have to go for 1 Udo. He can go for Raiju. He can go for the heroic age himself, which, funnily enough, he will be able to afford at about the same time that Kiluminati will be able to afford. They both got the same amount of military, but like no Zoekt units have died in this game. And he is going to go for Raijin. He will have himself Thunderburst. And Thunderburst versus a Toxote Ball is scary. Though there is a ceasefire, you can pull back. There's no way to heal up the Toxotes though. That's the problem. So if you drop it directly on top of them, they'll take a ton of damage. But the other point here is, even if you clean the Toxote Ball, the villager advantage is so ridiculously big. And look at this from Kiluminati. That's kind of wild, no? That's kind of wild, no? Just grab that one. Your opponent's never going to see it, right? These villagers over here are completely out in the open. There is a wall. There's a world here where... No, there's not. There's no gold in the bank. I was about to say there's a world here where Raijus can run rampant over Kiluminati's economy, just on the fact that you need to wall up the entirety of the map to prevent them from getting around and doing all the damage. As there is the heroic age from Zoekt. He does get some Naganatas in, but he's not going for the fight just yet. The Raiju coming up to the top side as the villagers have spotted what's going on here. The fight gonna happen. Thunderburst gets dropped. You have to ceasefire that. He will ceasefire it. He's going to get hit multiple times. Toxotes from 72 HP down to 36 HP. Should be able to get out of it here. Not the end of the world here for Kiluminati. But very, very damaged bodies. As Kiluminati trying to wall off this gold mine and cut those villagers off here. I think he will get the wall up. Maybe. Yes, he will. And the hippies come out, and it's going to be more dead villagers. Yeah, you can knock the stable down, but your villagers are dead, my friend. He can't get out. Okay, now he can. Now, Zoekt can take out the town center, but that does give a whole bunch of militia over to Kiluminati to run away and use in the subsequent fight. So militia are all getting picked off. These Toxotes just... They look so weak, though, with that much HP. Like, they look strong because they're in this ball that looks strong, but they are incredibly weak. Raiju to come through. In fact, you almost want to be in a spread formation rather than anything else here. You almost want to be in a spread formation rather than anything else. Dionysus comes in now for Kiluminati. He's going to have himself bronze. He's got himself a third town center. Oh, sorry, second town center again over here as he lost this one. And Zoekt is looking for a big fight. Do I have to remember, this army is really strong. Kiluminati was sacking unit after unit after unit to get this villager advantage. This army has not taken any damage basically the entirety of this game. And Kiluminati will run back into his main base, and Zoekt cannot engage in here. Pulls back, has to find a different way to go. Some shinobi coming through, but they are getting picked off as they try to dash in and try to get some damage done. I mean, the only thing that can do anything here is the Raiju. Get in, special, huge damage onto the Toxote ball. But like I said, even if this army dies, the fact of the matter is this map is so good for defensive play that having a 40 villager lead is really, really difficult to get out of. I've also got the stone walls through for Kiluminati. He knows how far he is how far ahead he is in this game. That getting that stone wall is just a beautiful assistance for him. Another little angle here for Zoekt is to drop Solar Shield on the Raiju, charge in, and just get the damage done. Did something change? Second time you've seen stone walls? Yeah, stone walls are really good. They've always been good. It takes a while for people to realize this stuff. I'm telling you what. Generally, you can only afford it if you're the person who's got the economic advantage. But it is worth it to shut everything else down. Town center over here for Zoekt. Finally going to come up as he's like, all right, I'll get some economy now. Don't you worry. Meanwhile, a raid up onto the top. The raids will never stop. The hippies continuing. Over here, the Raiju getting some good damage done. Hydra goes down. More villagers going to... It's like, at this point, like, normally I would say, like, sacking one hippias for a villager and a little bit meh. But at this point, so far in front that you're always going to be at full pop. Yeah, it's worth it to sack any amount of hippias for a villager so long as you stay at full pop. Town center over here for Kiluminati to come through. And this one at the same time. Is the army going to try and break through here? Stone walls break, but back into the town center to pull away as I think the only thing here that Kiluminati is maybe missing is more military buildings. He's going to lose these villages here. This might be the angle, the opportunity that Zoekt needed to make something happen here. He's got to kill these villagers. The other thing is he's getting close to this next tier of Bushido. And while the town center falls, there's still villages falling for Zoekt in this game. And this one Death Ball army motoring around the map non-stop, it's just not gonna do it on this map. Like, if this was a very small map, maybe, but the big map, it's just not gonna happen. Bronze getting dropped down. For Kiluminati says, all right, let's take the fight here. The Raiju coming around the back here. Use Solar Shield on that one. No, doesn't drop it there. If he gets onto the Toxote ball with one shot there, it's kind of game over for the Toxote ball, but he couldn't get there. The rest of the army falls, and Kiluminati is now not only in front on military, but on village account, on town center, on population, on literally every metric you can possibly be in front on. Kiluminati is in front on. It's the Shinobi coming through. These guys going to be enough. I mean, they do a lot of damage to the Toxotes, but it's just not quite enough units. Maybe there is enough units here. The Samurai goes down. Yumi going down too. I don't know what else Zoekt can do here. And he does end up tapping out as Kiluminati manages the 3-0 victory, securing himself his first ever main event participation here. He will be playing tomorrow in the preliminary main event round against someone else. Congratulations to Kiluminati. Better luck next time to Zoekt. Put up a nice fight here. Just couldn't quite stop the bleeding. Like, this wood line, 2 houses from here to here is enough to open up this. He had a perfect shrine, 1 wall across here, and then all of a sudden the wood line is safe. All of a sudden the wood line is safe. He's got fine wood line. Then all he has to worry about is the food, which was perfectly fine on the front, and he would have had a much easier game here. But just refusing to defend this wood line, refusing to just defend anything, he got himself a huge army, but because his wood was so low, he couldn't make 1 Udor. If he had 1 Udor here, all of a sudden the military advantage that he got from defending the raids could have converted into killing off the main town center of Kiluminati and creating a really chaotic game. But he just couldn't make it happen. Kiluminati gets the dub, wins in stylish fashion. We'll see him tomorrow. If you guys enjoyed, make sure you hit the follow. If you haven't hit the follow, we are here literally every day of the weekend with this tournament until the end of March. So make sure you come and hang out and enjoy the proceedings. We'll get into another game shortly.